Today is Earth Day, celebrated all around the world. But there are a couple of things that it's a lot of things we could talk about when it comes to the climate, how do we take care of Earth. But I saw this clip earlier, and I usually ignore stupid people who believe that the Earth is flat. I really do, okay? But that was a debate on Joe Budden's podcast. And rapper Wiz Khalifa says he believes the Earth is flat. But I'm gonna show y'all a couple things that makes this utterly hilarious. So let me first play this.
Is the Earth round?
I would say no.
What shape is it?
I just believe that we live on a flat plane. Yeah, like a huge flat plane. Yeah. It's only because I've traveled so much and I see like...
Did you ever get to the edge of the Earth?
Nah.
Okay.
It's not that. There's more, I think that there's more masses than just what we see.
Just the Earth.
Because we lived, it was one thing before and it's like spread out.
Yeah,
So it's layered like a pastry.
I wouldn't say layered like a pastry. I would just say like if this rug was the world, we would probably be like over there somewhere, and then there's just way
There's
more
other shit that we haven't discovered.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because when I travel, the routes that we take and how we do it, it's not possible to go up and down. You're just going straight.
I never thought about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you lying?
That's the only reason I think that.
Dog. Right, yeah. Of course he's right.
You can say it for a second, just for a second.
Nah, it's fine.
And I never looped
That's a Pennsylvania
around. I
thing.
never was on one place and then went to the other coast from that place. You always go the long way. You never just go like how
They talk about emergency
Yeah.
landings and shit. The emergency landings don't really be what would make sense if you was looking at the map.
I
I don't want to fight.
Somebody give me an edible.
I would love, man. So why are we talking about conspiracy?
Yeah, because
Is the Earth round?
I would say no.
What shape is it?
Like I said, no, not yet. No, don't switch yet. Why? I told y'all normally I don't play really stupid people. So when I typed Wiz Khalifa in Twitter search box, I typed his name in, and there are 4 categories. There's top, latest, people. Okay. 4 days ago, Complex posted a tweet. And don't go to it yet. The tweet says, Wiz Khalifa, Kush plus Orange Juice 2 out now. That means that they have a new album out. This is the album cover. This is the inside of it. This is the album cover. Mustafa, Mustafa, I'm confused. If you go on a podcast and say the earth is flat, why your ass don't put a flat ass photo on your album cover of the earth? Maybe, you know what? Here's what I think it is. Maybe he gave that answer. Go ahead and show the album cover again. You know, maybe he gave, Mustafa, it just hit me. Maybe he gave that answer. Maybe he gave that answer because with the album cover, I think the album cover is covered with weed. So I think he was high as hell when they were talking on the show about the earth being flat. What you think?
Oh my goodness! No, somebody was definitely blazing. If he wasn't blazing, then I'm really concerned. I mean, there are all kinds of ways of getting at that. The scientific response is that the Earth is actually an oblate spheroid. What that means is that it bulges a little bit at the equators. On the top, on the north and south poles, it's a little bit flatter. So it is spherical. It is a circle for folks. But besides that, I mean, all you got to do is look at whether it is a satellite who's taking pictures or the missions that have gone to the moon or the space station. When they show the pictures, you can very much see that it is circular. I'll use very common language as I go through this. So you had to be high to be able to to be able to possibly justify you sharing that. But there's another part that's not funny is that, for folks who have influence, when they share these types of things, there are all kinds of people, hopefully not all kinds, there are a few folks out there who actually hear it and believe it. And that's another reason why we need to make sure that education is enhanced inside of our country. We got to make sure that folks understand at least basic science and basic math. You don't have to be a physicist or an astrophysicist to understand, some of these basic types of things that are so critically important. The other thing, too, is that it's somebody from our community. I love hip hop. But when folks from our community begin to also share misinformation, I'm going to say misinformation and not disinformation, because I want to make sure that I'm giving grace to this brother that he wasn't intentionally telling people the wrong thing. Now, when it gets back to the album cover, maybe he had nothing to do with the album cover because he could see that the earth is round and that, I guess in his idea of the world, we should have more opportunities for edibles and more opportunity to zone out. But in this moment, we can't afford to zone out because there are people who actually would love to take education away from kids inside of our community. So let's make sure that whatever we share when we're on the airwaves, that it is accurate and it is not something that could be harmful to the next sets of generations who will have to deal with lack of access to education.
See, Teresa, it's some shit I'm not gonna talk about with some people. Bring your ass on here, talk about your album, talk about music, talk about fashion, but we not gonna start talking about stuff that you have no idea what the hell you talking about. I ain't never really flew from one place to the other. I ain't never, ain't nothing spinning, ain't nothing moving, I wish I know folk don't want me to cuss, and I'm trying not to cuss, but this right here is, I need some rappers. I need some entertainers. I need some media people to shut up. Just don't even see. You saw Mark Lamont Hill, like because Mark has actually had debates on his podcast with some fools on this very topic. And I text Mark and I said, Mark, just tell me you were just doing it to get some clicks. But if Wiz Khalifa was sitting in this studio and said that to me, I would literally said, Wiz, just tell me you high or you just out your damn mind. To me, this ain't that difficult.
Yeah. So you're absolutely right. And I'm going to go back to Mustafa's point that was just a missed opportunity. You had Angela Rye there as well. Some very intellectual.
No, that wasn't Angela Rye. That was Melissa Ford. That was Melissa Ford.
Okay. Saw it as a glimpse. But
you just saw a light-skinned black woman and you thought that was Angela.
I said Angela Rye.
No, that's not Angela. That's Melissa Ford.
That's good to know. But yeah, there was just a firm opportunity to really clear it up because, I'm sure that clip probably got millions of views. And so, when, you have somebody like Wiz Khalifa saying that the earth is flat, somebody could have literally just pulled up his album cover. Then why is the earth round on your album cover? Like, why is it an actual circle? I know Wiz Khalifa probably, because he's from, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, not Philly, but, and he's probably traveled on I-95 quite some time and I-80. So it does look a little flat, but, I'm not sure what happened there. As he's, thinking about what Earth Day really means to him and the ganja. But again, that is a missed opportunity to educate so we can, and it didn't have to be harsh. It could have just clearly been let's stop there. The world is not flat. It is round because, right? And I think he would have taken that like, oh, that makes sense. But if no one's educating someone and they go into another podcast and say the same exact thing, or they then double down with a tweet, high or not, this is how misinformation spreads. And again, as we have more of our younger generation on social where, Wiz Khalifa, you're not seeing him on mainstream television. You are seeing him on social media, on podcasts, on digital platforms. They are picking this up and saying, well, my source is Wiz Khalifa, so they're going to the classroom telling the teacher that the earth is flat, and it's not. So,
and this right here is why we got some clueless ass people when it comes to politics, when it comes to what's happening in news. And just the other day, somebody came up in me and they said, Roland, can you believe that this person does not believe that we landed on the moon? And this millennial literally tried to tell me that we never landed on the moon and that could have been in the studio. And you know what I said? I need both of y'all to get the hell out my face. I need y'all not to even talk to me. I said, don't even look at me, because I am not even going to entertain that level of stupidity that we didn't land on the moon. I can't stand conspiracy theorists, and I didn't even want to waste any of our precious time discussing this. And just so y'all know, the only reason I'm even discussing this is because we were supposed to go live at 7:30 to the Target boycott town hall, but they ass is late. That's the only reason this made the cut. And so otherwise, it would have never even made this broadcast. This is what we call stretching. But I just think, Mustafa, we got to learn just to tell some people, I ain't even gonna entertain stupidity. It's just, we just got to say, no, y'all just too stupid for me to even discuss. So,
hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.